Hello again, everyone. Once again, my name is Brittany Goodchild. This is video presentation number 2. This week's topic is electronic communication. There are many avenues in which to send a business message. 3 main forms of electronic communication are email, instant messaging, and text messaging. Each of these 3 platforms have their own unique benefits and drawbacks. Before choosing which form of communication to use for business, it's important to consider certain aspects of the message. According to BCom 9th edition, published in 2018 by authors Lehman and Dufresne, when using electronic message delivery, the message should be, quote, straightforward and informational, end quote, and that's on page 81. Electronic communication should not be used for personal or sensitive topics. If a permanent record is required, then electronic communication is a good choice. Email is a great example of electronic communication that generates a permanent record. Also, email is quick and allows users to communicate across locations and time zones. Another benefit of email, according to BCom 9th edition by Lehman and Dufresne, published in 2018, is that email can provide, quote, substantial savings for companies in long-distance telephone costs and postal mail-outs, end quote. And that's on page 82. Delayed response is one drawback of email. In some instances, a message may not be received for 24 hours or longer. An email with caution when communicating a large amount of information. Face-to-face or telephone interactions are better methods for sharing a lengthy or complex message. Also, be sure to keep email simple. Embellished email can be slow to download. Since there are no other cues available to aid in the interpretation of the message, such as tone or body language, proper etiquette is essential to message comprehension when emailing. Email is also sometimes misused. In an article published in the November-December 2008 edition of Business Traveler Middle East entitled You've Got Mails, Swamped by Email Correspondence, Can't Press the Delete Key Fast Enough, Brian Johnston talks you through the niceties of electronic communication. Author Brian Johnston warns, quote, do not send endless joke emails that supposedly brighten up the day of the recipient. Not only might they not share the same humor, they almost certainly won't if your email is headed abroad. But this sends the message that, far from beavering away on your new business arrangements, you're giggling at your desk with nothing better to do, end quote. And that's on page 87 plus. Instant messaging, or IM, is another widely used method of communication in business. An advantage of instant messaging is that users are notified when contacts are available to chat. Additionally, unlike email, IMs provide instant communication. Another advantage is that instant messaging allows users to send graphics, audio, or video clips. One pitfall of IMs is the difficulty of verifying the identity of who you're actually communicating with. Another drawback is the temptation for employees to misuse IM software by chatting with personal acquaintances. Instant messaging is not an ideal method of communication when a record of the conversation is required. Text messaging is a versatile method of communication in business. An advantage of text messaging is that text can be sent from one cell phone to another cell phone or even to a computer. Because text messaging limit the amount of characters that can be used in a message, it's a great tool for a brief message. Texts are as economic as email and instant messaging. Drawbacks of text messaging are similar to those of instant messaging. Also, abbreviations and shorthands are used extensively in text, which can lead to miscommunication. In my work environment, email is the primary choice for electronic communication. Text messaging is a second choice. Instant messaging is not used because in most cases we need a record of conversation for documentation, regulatory, or even liability purposes. Electronic communication certainly makes my job easier and is definitely a cost savings to the company in terms of paper waste and increased efficiencies. So to sum it up, email, instant messaging, and text messaging each have advantages and disadvantages. If the message does not need an immediate response but a record is required, email is a perfect choice. When an immediate response is necessary but a record of the conversation is not important, instant messaging is probably a better choice. When a quick economic message is suitable, then text messaging is probably most appropriate. And that's all I've got for this week's topic. Thanks for your time.